Wait, did Remy Ma backdoor smack? Let's get into it. So, Knowledge interviewed Smack, which is like almost a rarity. You really don't see Smack, on a lot of interviews or what have you. But shout out to Knowledge. Knowledge got all the information that a lot of people was asking about, and in it, he has the full interview. It's a good interview. But in it, he discusses Easy, and Remy Ma. Now, of course, it's battle rap and what have you. And Smack and Remy Ma has this riff, right? And yes, because Eazy's in the middle of it. And so Smack said his piece as to reasons why he will never mess with Eazy and why he will never mess with Remy Ma. He wishes her well. He considered her his little sister, but considers her doing him dirty. So we're gonna play a little bit of the clip and then we're gonna go from there. Okay?
you and um, you and Remy, she's somebody who came in the culture. You know what I'm saying? You guys opened the door for her and everything like that. And then, she came and took one of your biggest artists and the whole shit happened. And now, from, what I heard is Chrome 23 is no longer in business and they're no longer doing battles and things like that. How did that affect your relationship? Because I've seen you had a lot of love for her. You know what I'm saying?
Rep was, I did have a lot of love for Rem. I mean, I still got love for her. Like, you know what I mean? I don't wish bad on her, but I just don't respect how she handled the situation and what she did. Like, you know what I'm saying? She did backdoor shit. Like, you know what I mean? Come in and try to infiltrate and try to get people to try to jump ship. It's corny. You know what I'm saying? It's corny. When she first came in, she was on some, we doing it for the ladies, the girls, and then she tried to jump in my lane. It's just corny shit. I don't respect it. It's like somebody coming on your block trying to hustle on your block. Don't try to hustle on my block. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You could do what you do. Go.
So let's break down this part of the interview here. So Smack feels that Remy came in with the motive to help the ladies, but decided to start taking from his artists, like utilizing URL artists to build her team and also build her platform. And also, he felt that Remy taking Eazy and the term he used, poaching his other artists to build Chrome 23 was disrespectful. So from his perspective, he feels that Remy didn't stay true to what she was supposed to be doing, which is building up the ladies for Chrome 23. Now, before we get into it, I'm also going to play the history of why Remy started with the women and essentially expanded her talent for to be performed on Chrome 23. Then we're going to go from that point, okay?
Right. But what I was saying is, all right, boom, we changed the trajectory of how things are playing out for females in hip hop. Most highest paid tours,
Killing it.
record sales, everything. It's endorsements, sponsorships. Why wasn't that transferring over into battle rap? Like in battle rap, like you have like one of the biggest, hottest dudes in battle rap might get somewhere near 100,000 for a battle, where the biggest female in it might have cracked 10,000. That's like, to me, that pay gap is wild crazy, especially considering that had I not had the opportunities that I had, that could have been me. I'd have been a chick, dumb, nice, could write, say whatever, and y'all niggas trying to, nah, we not doing that. We running in somebody's son. Like, this is just not gonna work. Yeah, right. So I was like, all right, boom, I'm gonna start my own league. I mapped it out, came up with an idea. I wanted a name first. I was like, I want a name that means something. So chromosome 23 is, for those that don't know, it's the chromosome in your DNA that determines whether you're a male or a female. And I'm like, chromosome 23 sound a little scientific. I'm like, nah, chrome 23 sound crazy, because chrome 23 can be chrome 23, can be like, it's different ways that you could play with it. I came up with the name. I made a LLC. I made an INC, S Corp. I did all of that. I took some bread from my account, put it into that account, and I just started calling people, yo, I'm trying to get you on this card. I'm trying to get you on this matchup. I did that. My first card, crazy. I had High 97 pretty much running through their live stream. So we had, I don't know, 3-4 million people tuned in for like 7-8 hours straight. It went great. As the year went by, I just started it last year. As the year went by, I'm like, damn, why is it that when, these other leagues throw a battle and they got all guys on it, like they pack the building, they pay-per-view numbers is right. Well, they was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why are they not attracted to these women? So I made sure that I invested in hair and makeup, like wardrobe. I'm out there styling everybody. But then it still wasn't working. I'm like, all right, cool. So I came up, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick some of the hottest males, make them one battle, give them the main event, and then I'm going to put all the chicks that I think aspire on the undercard. Right. It's been great ever since. It's been crazy. Right.
Okay, so there. You heard Remy's reasoning as to why she started expanding and having the men battle rappers as the head of the card, but yet still keeping the women and even having some intergender matches. Because when she was investing in the women, including doing hair, makeup, they didn't even, child care, okay, clothes, all of that stuff, whatever that was needed to be done to make sure that the women looked their best, what have you, she was losing money. She was losing money. Okay, it still wasn't working. So she went into the men who that are, and in battle rap, it's true. In battle rap, the men are the biggest draw. So she utilized the men to make sure that she can get the money back. So now that we got this part done, I believe there's more to what Smack is trying to say, but he's using that as an excuse. And I think the reason that he is using it as an excuse because it sounds good, right? Of course, Remy, I mean, it's not only Remy, but Eazy is involved in this too. And so now what we're going to do is play Eazy's part in it, and then we're going to break everything down from my opinion, based on everything that I understand about this situation from an outsider looking in. I'm going to break it down, okay? Because I think that there's more pieces to this. One side note though, understand, I got that interview. That's from the Gilly and Wallow. That's their name. Gilly and Wallow show, right? That's the show or podcast that we all seen the infamous clip to where we see where Remy's just completely out of it, and it seems that she's very detached from papping this thing. Looking at this again highlighted so many things. You guys, when I watched it, it's like, okay, first off, real quick, then we'll get back to the main business. But real quick, side note, we're going to just turn to the corner real quick. First thing, right? Remy came in there bearing gifts, right? She gave them Chrome 23 jackets. She gave them the products that she was selling, the Godmother cigars and whatnot, and the charms that she was selling, that strain and what have you. She gave them that. Remy has a habit of bringing gifts, right, to where she's going as far as part of her promotion. Notice, Pap has nothing. Pap has nothing to give. He's just there for the interview. Remy's even breaking down how she created Chrome 23 because there was some people that were saying, well, that was Remy and Pat both did that. Remy broke down how she created Chrome 23. She let you know that it was her money. She made it an LLC and an S corp. She put the money in from one account to the other account to make sure she was covered in that. She did that perfectly. So again, if we start looking at some of these videos going back, there's a lot of things that we were just missing because we was all enthralled in the black love thing. But I implore you guys to go back to that Gilly and Wallow podcast with them two on there, and you'll also hear, and I didn't put that in this clip, I don't think, you'll also hear when Pap has said that when she mentioned, you know, the products that she's selling and the strains. Pap at the end said, yeah, holla at me if y'all want to get that, holla at me if you want to get that. So it's like, even in that, she created that with another person. The person actually where she went to that resort on her birthday, that's the same person that she created that strain with, that she collabed with that strain with. Those jackets that they're talking about, the Chrome 23 jackets, guess who created that with her? Danielle Leather. Remember when I was telling you the last video that she collabed, when she works with people, it's like a fruition of other endeavors that's involved later. So this is like a thing with Remy, right? We don't have that with Pat. That was just my side note. Okay, I'm getting off of that. And now we're going to hear Eazy's take on how he got with Chrome 23. We're going to put everything together, okay?
So what happened between you and URL?
It started with the Hit Me and Holla battle. So, I mean, all right, so I'm gonna just keep it a being. Like, it really, that was what the, like, what the straw that broke the camel back, as you said, but it been conversations previous to that. So it was more of, they felt that when I got the Hitman battle, I should have called them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. When I signed my first contract, it said I couldn't basically do RBE and I couldn't do King of the Dot. You know what I'm saying? Like that, basically. Like, as long as you don't go to the ops, you don't be cool with, like, whatever you do. So then when Rem came and she had the Chrome shit, you know, they was playing like brothers and sisters and all of that shit. So it was like, all right, that's a good league. Everybody else going over there. She done booked everybody else and all of that. So, like, when it was time for, that was actually Hustle Battle. It was supposed to be Hustle and Hit Me. Right? But then Hustle said some shit to Hitman on Twitter crazy. He was like, shit over.
What'd she say?
I forgot, but it was some crazy shit though. That he just was like, the battle done.
Like
Right.
you just crossed the line?
Right, yeah. Cause you know sometimes that
What was she, what was it? Was it some family shit? Like, what?
I don't remember. But it was enough to cancel the battle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm, you know, I hit Rem. I'm like, yo, what's up with that? Yo, what's up with that battle?
Right.
You mean? Like, so it was just like, I wasn't doing it on, it was like, it didn't matter. I wasn't really, at that point, I wasn't trying to leave URL. I seen the opportunity though.
Right.
I'm like, oh, he wanna come over here. I got the ends, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me see what's up with the battle. It made sense. I'm still easy. You know what? That shit made sense.
Right.
Boom, boom, boom. So then it was like, all right, battle going down. The question was, how was URL gonna take it? I'm like, it's not on none of their competitive shit. It's they folk shit. Everybody cool. And they not booking Hitman.
When you say not they competitors.
Okay, I see where you about to go.
He said contractually it said 2 leagues.
And here's where URL always looks at shit a certain way. You got Hitman Holla, a battler that they pretty much promoted throughout the years. And then you got Eazy the Block, a battler. This is now a URL battle that's being booked. In their opinion, that's our battle.
Right.
Okay.
Like, they won't necessarily book Hustle versus Hitman Holla. They don't care about that. But once it becomes 2 niggas that they don't put the time in to elevate, that's when it becomes like, okay, now y'all stepping on our toes because we could have had that.
Right.
So how do you respond to that?
It was, you know, well, you know the practices to it. It wasn't no counter offer. Real
So
rap though,
no,
it's
because
a
you talking principles
Yeah.
and he talking money.
but
No, it's the same thing.
but it's to right in this
It's
situation.
the same
We
thing.
Okay, so you've heard everybody's perspective, and of course, there's a whole lot more interviews and stuff that we can pull up from all sides. So, as I said before, now if I haven't said it, Remy and Smack and Papoose, all of them go way, way, way back. Okay, but there's still something to me. This is just my opinion that also does not get talked about as to the reason why Smack may feel away. And that's because even though Remy says, hey, I was losing money, I had to switch this around, it wasn't trying to be on someone's quote unquote turf, because that's how Smack is making it sound like it was on somebody's turf. It wasn't that, it's that she couldn't turn the profit like she needs to. But it was something else as well. That other person, in my opinion, was also ARP. Now, ARP owns Rare Breed Entertainment, a battle platform, right? He had a battle league as well. Now he's semi-retired. You can see him on Sorry It's True podcast. He has his own channel. He's been having his own channel, and he's been in the battle rap scene for a long, long, long time. Okay, so URL already had beat right with at the time King of the Dot and RBE. So Eazy was honoring their contract, not performing on King of the Dot at the time. Although, as you can see nowadays, URL and King of the Dot they deal with each other, and his contract also states that he could not perform on RBE. Now he had done that a long time ago, probably 2012 or something like that. He was on RBE a long time ago before he got out with the URL thing. But presently, when he signed the contract, he could not perform any battles on the RBE platform. Okay, but RBE outside of or ARP outside of battle rap, he didn't know Remy Ma like that, right? He knew her as Remy Ma. Of course, we all do, the celebrity Remy Ma. But ARP was very welcoming as well. And I'm quite sure they had behind the scenes conversations on certain things as far as how to navigate through the battle rap world. My opinion, Smack didn't like that because Smack and URL could not ever stand RBE because they could never box RBE in a corner. See, Smack and them run a little different. It's funny how Smack talks about, they move a little funny. She moved funny and she moved funny. You could get on YouTube and just run the list of things that URL was behind. They pay people to not perform, to sit folks down, to not do a battle. They've done things. They've blocked battles. I wouldn't be surprised if they paid a couple of people to choke. You hear me? So if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it for real. I think URL had a problem that he was not able to outspend Remy. Remy had the money to get Hitman Holla. Hitman Holla is not cheap. And when you put him on a card, you spending that money, right? So ARP has this clip, and I'm going to show it. He's going to talk about how this was Eazy's biggest battle, and he does mention about some of the financial losses that was behind the investment of Chrome 23. Now, mind you, this interview was 3 years ago, so this was right before the Hitman Holla and Eazy battle. But all of this is confirming that the reason why Remy actually pivoted was because of monetary loss. When she hit that battle, she was in the black again. So my thing is, if you are URL and you're calling Remy your sis, why didn't you help navigate? Why wouldn't you say, you know what, I'm gonna lend out my biggest star to you, and this is what we're gonna do. Now they talk about, if you can find some of the other clips, they talk about, hey, we was trying to do this and we was trying to do that, but behind the scenes, they were actually, as Eazy said, you want me not to do the battle. Remy said, okay, cool, but where are we going to put the battle at then? And the thing was, they just didn't want him to do the battle. It wasn't that they wanted to give the battle. It wasn't like they wanted the battle to come to their platform. They just didn't want Eazy to do the battle because at the time they were enemies of of Hitman Holla and of ARP. This is what all of this was about. And I don't know why Smack just doesn't say, well, Remy was getting cool with our enemy. That's what all of this was about. And the fact that they couldn't do the Remy the way they did other leagues. They couldn't do that to RBE because RBE was not going to be bullied. And they couldn't do that to Remy. They tried to little sis Remy because they felt like, as you heard that the interviewer on Hip Hop is Real was like, yeah, y'all brought Remy into the rap, into the battle rap. Technically, Remy and I Am Lady Luck, they are actually the godmothers of battle rap. They were rapping, if I'm not mistaken, and this could be just a folklore history, but I could have sworn I heard that Lady Luck and Remy Ma, when they battled every man, right? And they beat all the men in their respective places. And the only two people that was in competition with each other was Remy and Lady Luck. So how did you bring her in? Maybe with the business side of things, but she's battle rap. Remy's always been battle rap. We've been knowing this about Remy. It isn't like Smack made her into battle rap to become this successful person. She's always been who she's been. That's the thing that kind of gets at me, the way they like to throw their credential in somewhere because, well, if it wasn't for us, or she was just going to do the ladies. See, they didn't mind about her doing the ladies because at the time the Queen of the Ring was there. And while Queen of the Ring was the staple for the ladies, they didn't always pay enough. And whatever the reason behind that was, that's not on me. I don't know. But Remy coming in saying, yo, I'm gonna help these ladies. Smacking them was real cool about that because they was hoping in their hopes of hopes and hearts of hearts that Remy wipes off Queen of the Ring because they didn't like the owners of Queen of the Ring either. But Remy wasn't trying to do that. She was just trying to be another platform, right? So that's what this is about. But I'm going to go ahead and put it on ARP, and he'll explain the rest from his perspective.
This is Eazy's biggest matchup ever, despite his run on. He's been on RBE, he's been on Battle Academy, he's been on other leagues, but most of his work is on URL. But his biggest match is coming on Chrome 23, and for all we know, it could be his biggest bag because Remy's got a nice bag. She's got a nice budget over there. I ain't counting nobody's pockets. I'm just saying, like, you can't pull off the cards that Remy is pulling off in tournaments and putting up 25 of this, and people's talking about how much you might have lost on some of these other cards or whatever because you're investing still. You know what I'm saying? You're still building your platform, so you don't even have to take that fully as a loss. You write that off as your taxes. You know, it's part of business building, right? But that's another story.
So now you heard from ARP. Again, he has his own channel called Sorry It's True. He has a lot of his own content up there from RBE. A lot of battles, great battles. And real quick, just a side note. Yes, I know. Yes, he is. He fine shit, ain't he? I know. ARP is fine. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, but the man is fine. But continuing on. So based off of everything that I've seen and where this whole thing happened with URL and Eazy, and I know there's a lot of you that may say, well, I remember when URL said that they were going to sue Eazy. What happened to that? It never happened. They did that to scare the other battle rappers that was on URL because Eazy did in fact find a loophole. Now, some of you guys may be thinking, well, why in the hell would you sign a contract for like 5 or 6 years and not really read what was in there? Circumstances push a lot of people. I'm not using it for an excuse. I'm just saying what it is. Everybody lives by their circumstances until they learn how to live by their options. Okay. And that could have been it. You know what I'm saying? And when there was a way to figure out how to get out of it the right type of way, he did. There was something that was very poignant too, because some people want to say that, well, Easy just left because, him and Remy was kicking it and what have you. And I really don't think that was the case based on what Easy has been saying. There have been clips that's even older than some of these clips, which was just 3 years ago, where he was saying, look, I just need a YouTube drop. I need a YouTube drop. I need a YouTube drop. And at the time, URL, before they moved fully to the app, which is a black-owned business app, it's a black-owned business, but before they moved fully to the app, they did have some YouTube drops, right? So you did have some type of recognition, but after they got the app built, they stopped with the drop. They stopped it. So those type of old school URL clips that you see of Easy, those are just clips from the app, and from bloggers that was, doing their reactions on the battle, whomever he was battling, what have you. So he was able, whatever that contract thing was, he was able to get out the contract. Now, some of y'all may say that's messed up, but that's business. And it's not that it's messed up, it's that it's your viewpoint based on the relationship between this person and the business interchangeable with it. See, some people are there, and this is for any business. Some people may be there because of their circumstances, so they can't leave right then and there, right? Other people might be with a business for certain loyalties, like that business may have helped them out in certain instances in their life. Like URL, there's a reason why there's a lot of rappers over there in URL's roster. Some of those people, URL actually did help. They went through some financial struggles. URL helped with that. They may have had some dealings with courts, with the system, and URL had to help them with that. So there's loyalty in the IOU as well. But there's also this thing that can be manipulated where we're family until it's business. And that's hard to navigate through. Um, a lot of the battle rappers, I'm not going to say a lot, but some of the battle rappers that were very vocal towards what happened between Eazy and URL and Remy and all of that stuff, they were looking at it from the perspective of loyalty over everything. This is my family, right? That means that smacking them has helped them a time or two as well. They've done favors for them if needed be and what have you. But Eazy had came into the URL as a business. And that's what makes it different from everybody else. He came at them from a business perspective. Yeah, I'm cool with you, but I still have my own money too. If anything go wrong, I'll go back to this job I'm doing, because Eazy was always working as well. So from his perspective, yeah, we good as long as we make money together as a business, and a business should be. Outside of that, there's no other personal relationships where you got me tied down. Okay? So it's not even loyalty by circumstance either, because some people are loyal by their circumstances, of course, like I just stated. So he didn't even have that in him, as far as why he and URL was able to separate the way they did. So yes, they made a big fuss about the contract, but this has been now 3 years and they have not touched Eazy. That contract was not ironclad. And when Eazy did try to tell others about it, they hurried up and they ran right back to the people they were more comfortable with and re-signed right back up. Okay. So to me, that was the whole issue. It was because Remy was also cool with one of their enemies, because she was a neutral party, was also cool when their enemies who opened up some, maybe helped navigate through some things with the business side of things. They was not friends with Hitman Holla. They could not stand Hitman Holla. And from their perspective, okay, you going against a person that we don't even like. But Eazy's and more so Remy, because she was trying to keep the friendship that she had with smacking, the guys over there at URL. Was like, okay, well, I'll give you the battle, but are you going to put the bet on your platform? They just didn't want to do that at all. So when you think about that, I want to ask you guys a question. If you have an opportunity to make a lot of money in your prospective field, and you have this contract with this person, you're not an employee, you're a contractor with them, and you see this as a good shot, right? And so what would you do? Would you go for it and just damn the consequences? Would you what type of what way would you go with that? Because now from URL's perspective, I could kind of see their way as far as hey, you didn't even contact us. You just went ahead and did it. But in a way, it was like, why contact you when you're having a hissy fit for me even doing it? So I didn't call you and I just signed on there. You heard when Eazy said, I called Rem like, what's up with the battle? They didn't mind that the battle was going to be Hitman Holla and Miss Hustle, but they had that issue when it was Hitman Holla and Eazy, and that was a big problem for some reason. Okay, well, guys, this is all I have for you today. I am so sorry that this is out so late. Again, I was working. Time escapes a lot of escapes a lot with me, so I wanted to make sure I come circle back around and get this taken care of with you guys. I would love to hear your perspective. What would you have done if you think that URL did have a place to stand on with that, a foot to stand on with that? Or how do you feel about what Remy was part of? If you think this could have been Remy's fault, or do you think that, hey, if Easy just would have communicated better, it probably could have, they probably all three of them could have worked out something? And how do you think about my opinion about how ARP and Hitman Holla kind of, to me, enters the picture as a bigger conversation of the reason why URL could have been mad for real? That and the fact that they could not little sis bring me like they thought they could. Okay. All right, y'all, like, share, and subscribe. Have a good one. Bye.